Hi everyone, it's Rihanna again, second year CRNA. If I sound a little raspy, it's because I've had a cold for the past few days, so just ignore my voice. Today, I'm here to talk to you about something that I get asked all the time, and that is how is CRNA school compared to nursing school? We all know nursing school is hard. One of the main concerns about CRNA school is how hard is it gonna be? So I'll be addressing the differences that I've noticed so far. The first difference that I noticed immediately when I got to CRNA school is that we were building on a lot of knowledge that we were already supposed to have. So what I mean by that is, in nursing school, I felt like I was a newbie and they were kind of teaching us the basics and teaching us from the beginning. In CRNA school, they expect you to already understand the main concepts, the physiology, the anatomy, the nursing, critical care, all that stuff. You're already supposed to know that. So when they lecture and teach you stuff, they're building upon that and they don't go over the basics. So if you don't understand something from your undergrad or from your practice in nursing, before you can even start studying or learning, you really have to learn that concept very well. Now, in addition to that, the sheer volume of information is much more than I felt that I was expected to learn in nursing school. So in CRNA school, we have tests about every 1 to 2 weeks, and there's a lot of content covered on each exam. In nursing school, we also had frequent exams, but I just felt like there was less information to learn. In addition to being expected to learn much more information in a short period of time, the information is also much more in-depth. We're looking at things such as medications and pathophysiology on a cellular level. In nursing school, I'm gonna use pharmacology as an example. I felt that we learned the mechanism of action of a drug. We learned that implications, side effects, things of that nature. But in CRNA school, we learned exactly how the drug works, the chemical components, how it works at the cellular level on the body, how it interacts with other drugs, how it interacts with certain disease processes. Just very, very in-depth. Another difference in CRNA school that stresses a lot of people out is the grading scale. In nursing school, in my program, an 80 was passing. So an 80 was a C and you needed a C to pass. In CRNA school, you cannot pass with a C, you need a B to pass. And a B is an 87. So our grading scale is 87 to 92 is a B, 93 to 100 is an A. And if you don't get a B, which is the 87, then you get a C, which is considered failing because you can't get C's in CRNA school. Now, the grading scale stresses a lot of people out. This seems very intense, but really you should understand the stuff well enough to get an 87 because you're gonna have to pass boards and you're gonna be using this knowledge every single day and it's gonna impact people's lives and situations that you're in control of. So it sounds kind of crazy, but there's a reason behind it. Another big difference is the amount of research that we do. In nursing school, I did an evidence-based practice project, but I didn't feel I was doing research all the time. In CRNA school, I've already done many research projects, more than 5 at least, and I still need to do my final research project, which we work on the second year and defend in our third year. It's gonna be the longest one I've ever done in my academic career. So in CRNA school, expect to do a lot more research and expect that research to be a lot more in-depth. Another difference, I know there's so many differences, is pre-planning. Or in nursing school, it's called care planning. So in nursing school, we all know the dreaded care plans. I literally hated care planning. It was the worst thing about nursing school. We would go the day before and care plan, and it would take forever. I'd be up till 2 in the morning trying to care plan, and they were pass or fail. In CRNA school, we do something similar, which is called anesthesia pre-planning, and we go in the day before, look up our patient, and make an anesthesia plan for them. Now, the care plans we did in nursing school were this big, and they were so many pages long, but in CRNA school, your anesthesia plan is only 1 page, and it's just front and back. It's very detailed. The difference is in nursing school, when you're care planning, you're looking everything up because you really don't know anything yet. In CRNA school, you are looking stuff up, but you have to have a huge knowledge base to even know what to look up and what to look for and what the implications are of disease processes and things like that. So it's just completely different. While we're on the topic of pre-planning, I'm going to compare nursing school clinical to anesthesia school clinical. So the first difference is we have so much more clinical in anesthesia school. We'll have over 2,000 hours of clinical when we graduate, which is great because when you graduate anesthesia school, you go out into the workforce and you just start working. It's not like a 6-month orientation or 4-month orientation like you had as a new grad RN. So we have a lot more clinical. We also have a lot more responsibility in clinical. In nursing school, I felt I was guided through the clinical process very closely. I would get there, we would get with the nurse we're supposed to be with, get report with them, make a plan with them, all that stuff. Well, it's kind of similar in CRNA school, but you get there before your CRNA. You set up the room completely for your case. You go see your patient in the pre-op area, then you meet with your CRNA when they get there, and you talk to them about your plan and what you pre-plan, and sometimes it matches what they want to do and sometimes it doesn't. When you go to clinical as an SRNA, you're expected to understand the procedure you're doing. You're expected to know everything about your patient and how that relates to the anesthesia and the procedure you're doing. You're expected to be very knowledgeable, and they hold us to a very high standard. They know we were ICU nurses before, so they expect a higher level of practice coming from us right out the gate. Now, that can be stressful. I do feel that CRNA school clinical is much more stressful than nursing school clinical was, just because of the high expectations and the fact that people are relying on you. I don't like to disappoint people, so when I miss something or my anesthesia plan wasn't great, I feel disappointed in myself. I know I'm just learning, but problems of being a perfectionist. Another reason CRNA school is so much more stressful is because somebody's life is in your hands when you're doing their anesthesia. They're putting their life in your hands and trusting you to take care of them during their most vulnerable time. So you have to know what you're doing, and you have to know it well. You need to know what to do if emergency arises. You need to know what to do if an unexpected situation arises. And that just requires a lot of knowledge. And that's why CRNA school is so hard, because you need to know so much, and you don't just need to know it, you need to really understand it so that you can provide the best and safest care to your patients. If something goes wrong in the OR, it is the CRNA's responsibility as the anesthesia provider to take care of the patient during that critical time. You're giving all the medications, all the fluids, all the blood. You're keeping their body temperature normal. You're making sure they're adequately anesthetized. It's a lot of responsibility, and that is stressful and overwhelming at first. Another difference between CRNA school and nursing school is the free time. Whenever there's downtime or free time, you just have this feeling in the back of your mind that you need to be studying. There's always something to do. There's never true downtime in CRNA school, except for during a holiday break, which we have once a year, and it's winter break, and that is a 3 or 4 week break depending on the year. So it's just a lot more busy. I hope I did a good job explaining that, but just to recap, the differences are you're building upon knowledge that you already have. The information is much more in-depth. There's a larger volume of information. The expectations are much higher. You're held to a higher standard. Pre-planning is more realistic to what you'll be doing the next day in clinical. There's a lot more clinical. Clinical is more stressful than it was in nursing school. The grading scale is more intense, and you have a lot less free time. So to summarize, those are the differences. Now to the exciting part. It is now Sunday. This video will be going up in about an hour and a half as soon as I finish editing it, and the reason I waited till today to film the video was because I'm ending the giveaway today. So I'm gonna show you what I did here. So everybody who entered the giveaway, I put their names on a little piece of paper this morning, and I folded them up, and let me just show you. Everybody's name has a little slip, and they're all different. This is my pen cup, and I just dump my pens out, and I'm using it to shake up the names. So I'm gonna do this on camera. It's gonna be completely random. Let's shake it up really good. And remember, it's gonna be a gift box from me, so we'll see here who won. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see here. And the winner is Your Best Bet. Congratulations. I need to look up what your real name is, but Your Best Bet, you are the winner. I will also post the winner on Instagram and in the comments below. I will be contacting you to get your address so I can send you your gift box. Thank you for entering, and thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, I hope you found this video informational and helpful. If you're a subscriber, you already know this, but if you're not, I put out new videos every Sunday. I'll be documenting the rest of my CRNA school journey, so if you want to follow along, feel free to subscribe. I have a lot of video recommendations, so I have a lot of content coming out in the next few weeks that you guys have been requesting. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon.